Alison, please tell everyone about you, what you do, and how you got to being where you are now, if that's okay.
It's been a very, very rapid, exciting, fun-filled journey. I get the feeling isn't quite over yet. I can't believe the changes that have happened in the last sort of 8 or 9 months. And I've got these guys to thank for that. So again, a public thank you for changing what was an okay strategy into a fantastic one. So thank you very much.
When I was doing this, I saw your eyes go ding. So in a minute, we'll tell them about that.
Yeah.
So you are
I'm a GP.
Okay. So how many hours a week do you work?
Well, I'm on maternity leave at the moment, so none. But normally I'd say, a 40-hour week, which is a full-time job by anybody's standard, but a 3/4 GP. Okay. So I'm kind of.
So before we go into details, how many properties have you bought in the last 9 months? Bear in mind you've been doing this yourself with Alan and your husband.
We've just got an offer accepted on our 8th.
So you bought 8 properties doing a 40-hour week?
Yep, and 3 children.
Oh, and you have 3 kids?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Who here has a 40-hour a week job? Who here has kids?
No.
Interesting. Okay.
And Alan works full-time as well, until he resigned last week.
Did he?
I haven't told you about.
Oh, no, but I knew he was going to.
So we've been watching, like a lot of you here, we've been thinking that property was a great idea, really ought to get in it, and on and on and on the procrastination went for years. And we watched a friend in the northeast build up a massive portfolio, riding the kind of rising property prices, and then almost fall over for all the mistakes that you made. So we learned from that. It kind of helped us define our strategy to be different to his, but it also reinforced the kind of, oh my God, this is big stuff here. I'm used to dealing with business. I ran the pharmacy in our surgery. I set up our clinical trials department. So money, people, making decisions, attention to detail, that's my daily work, as well as the medicine, which fits in somewhere. Alan is a teacher, been teaching 6 years. He was in the pharmaceutical industry and a research chemist before then. So again, an attention to detail person. I am willing to take a little bit of risk in my investments. I'm fairly goal-orientated. I don't think I'm quite as driven as Dina. She was really inspiring. And risk management effectively is what GP does, believe it or not, all the time, but with lots and lots of information to back you up. Alan is even less risk-averse than I am. And he's probably, he is as enthusiastic about this. He's given his job up last week to do more of this. So we may not have everything in common with everybody here, but there's a little bit perhaps of each of our stories that you'll say, that's how I felt, that's how I feel. What motivated us? We have 3 children. I want my children to do jobs that they love, that they're passionate about, to get loads out of life, because we're only on this planet, I believe, once. I didn't want them stuck in dead-end jobs that they hated, but it was the only thing that was ever going to get them a mortgage. And I think we're in that position almost now, and certainly when my 8, 5 and 1-year-old are buying houses, I can't see them affording a mortgage. So that was our main driver. We had a strategy, because that's the way we think, that's the way we operate. We thought it was pretty good. We'd spoken to lots of people. We'd read lots of books, because again, that's what I do. And we just about bought 2 properties before I stumbled across your book on the internet. Our strategy was okay. It was fine. It ticked all the boxes of everything we'd read and heard until that point. In hindsight, it was, can I say crap? It was okay. These 2 houses wash their own face. They're on fixed rate mortgages. They'll just fester away in the background until property prices go up. They're not going to be a risk to us, but they certainly aren't. They're a million miles away from the strategy that we have now.
Can you just talk to us a bit about this? Because I didn't even know this was going to come up, but there was one thing that you learned, which I know, you might be able to tell me other things, but this specifically was the difference that made a difference, I think, for you. So can you tell everyone about that?
We had too much emotion. We wanted to have nice tenants. We felt that we were minimising our risk by having, in inverted commas, nicer houses with non-DSS tenants. We hadn't really researched. We knew that there was some good rental demand in Peterborough, but we were looking for the wrong kind of house, not in the expensive kind of Manhattan end of the price range. We got that bit right, but we weren't far enough over. Well, we started buying in an area called Breton, because there's a new hospital being built there.
But there's North and South Breton, and you were buying in the better area or the worse area? So you were buying in a sort of non-filled circle, yeah? And your first property, or second property, I think if you're right, you bought it at about 3 or 4% over market value? think we
probably
worked
is
out.
now.
Yeah.
That was entirely emotion.
Yeah, which you didn't know
led.
at the time, did you?
No.
Which is fine. And you know, Mark calls it entrance fee, and that's we all have our
Just
entrance fee.
6% yield was our key kind of benchmark. It ticked that box. It didn't need hardly any refurb. The tenant was all lined up, and they didn't want us to do anything. So actually, the refurb costs were filling in a fish pond. That was it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So since then, what have you learned that's made it change, and what have your results been?
Okay. The biggest thing that we learned was that you could trust these guys. They have been absolutely honest, supportive, and helpful. So if you've got any questions, and it's a very, very different feel. Can I name the company
It's
that
you,
I went
it's not
to?
me. You can do what you want.
I went to an inside track. It's like saying you're an alcoholic, isn't it? So I confess, I'm really sorry. It was free, it was very slick, very, very clever marketing. Really, I'm not into marketing, but I could see, oh, that's very clever what you've done there. Done a bit of NLP, I could see that. But it just felt heavy, heavy, hard sell, and I walked away. From that, and I'm very, very glad that I did. I never got that feel, you know, and your kind of law of, I can never say the word reciprocity.
Reciprocity, or
you know, give more, and you'll get more back. So we've hopefully been as helpful to you as you've been to us.
For sure, that's very nice of you. I'm humbled. I didn't expect it. I thought you were just going to say when Mark told you to buy in Britain instead of Goldhay.
No, you advised us against you said walk away from that deal.
Yeah.
Use the mortgage
Which is
situation.
hard to tell people because at the time you don't necessarily want to hear it, do you?
And we didn't. We bought it. Kind of slightly regret it now, but we did it we didn't walk away to help establish our reputation. It did achieve that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's hard to put a value on.
So you had bought 2. How many do you own now, or how are you bought or buying?
Just about to exchange on number 7, offer accepted on number 8.
Okay, and what would you say your average below market value is on not the first 2, you know?
Yeah, we have 2 sets of data. My husband, like Mark, does the spreadsheets. 2 sets of data. There's kind of like pre-progressive stuff, which we prefer just to put in a drawer, and then there's the post-progressive stuff. Pre-progressive, including everything, our percentages were pretty low. If I can refer to, I've written it all down.
Oh, brilliant!
Remember this. The average, including the first 2, was 19%. The first 2 was 5%. And if you just look at the last 5, we're averaging 25%, but the last 2 were 33% and 35%. So they've just, you know, each property's we're getting cheaper and doing better.
So in your opinion, just to sum up, because you must be hungry, we're all hungry, and we're about to have lunch. How are things different for you now? You know, just explain to people about your goals moving forward, how many you want to buy, and how things are different from before.
How things are different? Well, Alan's resigned from his job which is a fairly brave thing to do, I think, in the current climate, but he wants to spend more time doing this. We've actually set up a company called Buy to Let Doctors, not too cheesy, I hope, because a lot of our friends and people that we know have said, oh, we've watched what we've done, they want to, maybe they want to do it the progressive way, and we're happy to make referrals in, but some people just want someone to find the properties for them. So we want to help our friends and family. You feel quite kind of passionate and evangelical about this after a while. It's been great fun. It's almost felt like a sort of a hobby. It's something that Alan and I have done together. It's forced a change, not forced, but encouraged a change of career. We plan to buy another 6 this year for ourselves. We feel we've secured the financial future for ourselves and our kids. I'll probably be retiring in 2 or 3 years.
And then you'll get bored and you'll start all over again.
Probably.
Maybe.
So a lot of change, massive change for us personally.
Okay. Interesting, inspirational. If you've got any questions for Alison, she will be here for the rest of the day, and you know, maybe you want to take her out for lunch. I don't know.
I thought you were doing that.